In your video conference calls, do you more want to look like this? Or rather like this? Whether you're an employed consultant, a freelance consultant or working in any business job, at the moment you probably spend lots of time in your home office taking video conference calls. And you want to look professional in those. Because I sometimes catch myself how I unconsciously make a judgment on the competence of my conversation partner based on how their background looks like. Does it look clean and tidy? Is the lighting good? Or does it somehow look chaotic and weird? It made me wonder, is having a proper virtual video conference setup nowadays the equivalent to having a good body language in a standard conversation? You really want to get that right. My issue had been that in my own flat, I just do not have any neutral white wall background that would reflect the dignity of a former McKinsey consultant, because my flat is very colorful. So already a while ago, I decided to set up a semi-professional home studio using a green screen that I can use to show both a professional appearance in my client calls and for creative editing of my videos. In my client calls, I can show my own logo, or if I act on somebody's behalf, I can put a different brand. If you work for BCG and want to make your colleagues jealous, you can put here as well the BCG logo. Or you can show yourself on a beach, or literally anywhere you want. Anywhere. Many of you have approached me. Jack, your setup looks super nice. Can you explain to me how you did it so that I can copy it? Today I will take you behind the scenes of you in consulting. And mind you, I had been a super noob myself. I didn't have any previous knowledge on how to set up a green screen studio, and it probably took me 3 months to figure everything out. I'm giving you a hands-on tutorial on how to set up your own green screen home studio so that you can take professional video calls from home. What are we going to cover? In part 1, I will take you step by step through what I did to set up my own green screen home studio so you can copy my steps. If that is not for you, make sure you take a look at part 2, in which I present you some budget solutions that may or may not work for you. In part 3, I'm going to give a brief outline on what else I can talk here if you want me to. First, I'm going to explain you briefly how a green screen works and then introduce you to the general setup of a green screen studio. Then I will explain to you which camera I bought and why I bought it first. I will advise you on how to select your green screen and what lights to buy. We will briefly talk about sound and bring it all together on Zoom. Now, how does a green screen work? The general idea is simple. You put yourself in front of a green background and then tell the editing or video conference software to remove anything that is green. The freed up space you can now replace by something else. This technique is also called Chromakey. Most often green is used because it stands in strong contrast to our natural skin colors. However, if you like wearing green clothes, then you may get in trouble and need to choose a different background color that you want to remove. While it is easy, it is not simple. For the Chromakey technique to work properly, you have to ensure that your green background is flawless and evenly lighted, so that your software is not confused which colors it needs to take out. Also, you ideally need to stand in a good distance from your green screen to avoid what is called green spill, a green frame surrounding your body line. For your home studio, whether you use a green screen or not, you for sure at least need yourself, the star, a camera, a key light and a fill light. The key light typically is a bit brighter and the fill light a bit darker to give yourself a more natural presence. Look at my face. In my case I have a brighter key light here and the darker fill light here. If you want to use a green screen, you should also add 2 further green screen lights to make sure that your green screen is evenly lighted and the chroma key technique works properly. Also, you should stand in some distance to the green screen to reduce the risk of green spill. Let me now explain to you why I bought my camera first before I selected my green screen and which one I chose. I bought my camera first because I wanted to try out the angles in which I present. Maybe you're fine with having a face close-up, but I, for my client calls, wanted to be able to show my hands and use some gesture to present. The issue is that you have to stand in some distance from a green screen, not only to avoid the green spill effect, but also to avoid casting a shadow on the green screen and disturbing the even lighting. But the farther away you stand from a green screen, the wider it has to be so that you still keep some radius of movement. If I stretch my arms out fully, this is happening. And if my green screen was more narrow, I could maybe show them only until here. So this is why I suggest to you that you get your camera first, try out in which angle you want to present yourself, and then you also know which dimensions your green screen needs to have. If you found this video useful so far, please hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe to the UN Consulting channel right now for more quality content to come. After carefully screening the market, I chose the Canon EOS M50, which is a proven camera used by many vloggers. It is a DSLR camera that has many features I like. It is small but powerful. For instance, it has a very flexible foldable display and there's an option to power it not only by rechargeable batteries but through a continuous power supply. It's a bit tricky because it's not an official Canon solution, but it works. Furthermore, the camera comes with a dedicated function to not only use it for filming, but to use it as a professional webcam alternative for your Zoom or Microsoft Teams calls. You need to download the Canon EOS webcam utility software and then you can directly connect the camera by a standard USB-A to micro USB cable to your computer to use it as a webcam. I chose my cable to be 5 meters long. If you use another DSLR camera, you may have to use the Cam Link adapter to use it as a webcam, which costs you another $100. For my tripod, I went for a high-end solution and bought the Manfrotto MK055X Pro 3 with a 3-way head. Not least because it is up to 183 centimeters tall. I do all my presentations standing and it is important that my camera is at eye sight. I put the links to all the products I have bought into the description below. If you decided to purchase some of these items through these affiliate links, a very small contribution would be made to the UN Consulting project. Let us now talk about which green screen to select. Honestly, if you check offers on Amazon, you will find many low budget packages such as this one, which come with a rack, with some piece of green fabric that you can throw over them, and even a set of lights. Now, I decided against those because these racks tend to be rather bulky and take a lot of space up in your flat. Also, the fabrics typically come folded and people complain that they have wrinkles and it's not easy to iron them out. So, I love my space-saving green screen roller, which ensures the green screen always remains even. You can buy it in a cheaper version made of paper, which can easier tear, or go for my more stable green screen made of PVC. It was bloody expensive though, costing me €300. It is 2.7 meter wide, which is what I need. Later in this video, I show you another green screen alternative. I'm trying to explain to you a lot in a very condensed amount of time. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below so that I can get back to you. What lights to buy? Generally there are 3 types of lights. There are halogen lights, they are cheap and powerful but also get very hot and they have a high electricity consumption. Then there are also softbox lights, they are also cheap, they give you an even light, they are a bit cooler than halogen, but they are very bulky and they also give you only one very bright tone of white that you cannot adjust. And then there are LED lights, they are small and lightweight, they do not get hot at all, they have a very low electricity consumption and you can even adjust brightness and color temperature, just they are more expensive. I bought 4 LED lights to use them as my key and fill lights and green screen lights from the brand GVM, which work perfectly for me and which I can strongly recommend. I can adjust both their brightness and their color temperature. If you get a good deal, you can get 2 of them as a package for around €200. Let us briefly touch on sound, which has caused me some sleepless nights. Now this is how my integrated laptop microphone sounds. I wanted to upgrade my sound. In my early days, I used the famous Blue Yeti mic, which undoubtedly is a good microphone. It's just that I want my microphone to be outside of the screen, and once it's that far away, it just does not produce any more good sound. Therefore, I'm so happy that I ultimately found my Rode Video Mic NTG, which is a shotgun mic and delivers a good sound. Even better, I can connect it either to my camera through a standard audio cable for video recording or through a USB cable to my laptop for video conferencing. And I do not need to involve XLR cables, audio interfaces or their like. It's just perfect. Now let's bring it all together on Zoom, and it's easy. In your video settings, you first select your USB microphone, so in my case the Rode Video Mic NTG, and then after you have switched on your camera, you can switch to the EOS webcam utility, and then you will now see me in front of my green screen. Here we are. And when you go to the video settings, or directly choose virtual background, and here I have now none. I can just swap to this one, and actually it's important if you use a green screen that you tick this box for much better quality. I have a green screen, and now here we are. Simple. For my entire studio equipment I invested a bit less than 2,000 euros, which I think is still good value for money. And I've done that all for you guys. I promised to you that at the end of this video I will introduce you to 3 budget options that you can check out for yourself to see if they work for you or not. Option number 1. I told you earlier that in your Zoom video settings, if you use a green screen, you should check this box. If you uncheck it, Zoom also creates some sort of green screen experience for you, but unfortunately, as soon as you move, you see there's black spill or back frames around my hands. It doesn't work properly. So I think you can use this for fun calls, but I would not use it in a business call. Option number 2. If you first want to experiment a bit before you buy a green screen, you can also select any evenly painted wall somewhere in your home and try to light it evenly. I've just rolled in my green screen, and then do the following. Go again to your background settings and claim you have a green screen, but now you actually remove the yellow color, and you see now at first it seems to work surprisingly well, but as soon as I move a bit, you see Zoom gets confused because yellow is just very close to our natural skin colors. But maybe you find a different wall with a different color that works better for you, have a good lighting, or you just paint your wall in green colors. Option number 3. If you actually just want to show your face in a close-up, you may be fine with buying one of those Elgato green screens, which I love and wanted to buy for a long time. And then you can just combine them maybe with a cheap webcam. It is really easy to set them up. Either you put them on the ground and pull the green screen up when you need it, or you mount them to a wall and then pull the green screen down. It is just that after buying my camera, I figured that a width of 1.50 meters or 2 meters was not wide enough for me. To present in the way I'm doing now, I had to choose the green screen I am using now with a width of 270 meters. I covered a lot in a short time. In this part 3, I wanted to outline to you a few topics that I could also talk about if you want me to. So of course you can use this green screen technique on Zoom, but also on other video conferencing platforms such as Microsoft Teams. However, when I first tried to use it on Microsoft Teams, there was an issue and I couldn't really select the green screen. I figured eventually it was a software bug and there's no official fix for it. However, I found a trick how to use my green screen also on Microsoft Teams, and if you face the same issue, let me know in the comments and I can make a brief video on it. Second, you know when I'm presenting to you, I sometimes like to go into my bottom right corner so you can see my slides and at the same time still see me. Now this is something that typically on Zoom is not possible because either you show yourself or you share your screen. However, there's ways to do it, so you can, even if you present live, show your presentation and yourself to your audience. And if you're interested in finding out how this works, let me know in the comments and I can make a brief video on it. I hope you have now all knowledge together to set up your own green screen home studio and for making a professional appearance in your video calls. I put the product links into the description below. If you have any further questions, please put them down in the comments below so that I can get back to you. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the UN Consulting channel for more quality content to come. Also, don't forget to have fun with your green screen.